Hey everyone, today I will be attempting a 5K day. I will be trying to add 5,000 more words into draft 2 of my young adult novel. It's gonna be interesting because the current draft is at 6,500 words and that took me about, I don't know, 3 months to do, and now I'm trying to do like 5,000 words in a day, but it's a bit different than like a first draft, because with the first draft I can kind of just like regurgitate 5,000 words, but for draft 2 I'm trying to do a line edit, like a light line edit with the words. I want to make everything readable, but most importantly I want to make sure the scenes are actually full and complete, because in draft 1 they're just like they're just there's like not a lot of context. The dialogue is very sparse, it's just like back and forth. It's literally the bare bones of a chapter, so I'm trying to floof it out, add a bit more. Chapter 4 has 2,700 words right now, I think, so I'm a little bit worried that after all this floofing up it'll be up to 3,000. Because this is a YA novel, I want to keep things short, so I don't know if I'll break it up yet, but I don't know. The point is I'm just gonna add 5,000 words, so hopefully that's chapter 4 and that's chapter 5. It's not off to a really good start though because it's like pretty much 11 a.m. right now. I slept for 11 hours last night. I was so tired, I don't know why. And I do have a podcast. I'm filming a podcast with another tuber later today in the afternoon. I might change into contacts, but we'll see. I want to spend this whole day writing. I found like a new refound energy to work on this book, which is that a lot of writing is not motivation but also discipline. I saw this cool, I should have saved it, I saw this Instagram post. It was like motivation, like this is work, and motivation is like this, whereas discipline is like closer to that line. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'll try to find that graph. I was reading this book last night, The Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England. My book does take place in medieval times, and I wanted a better understanding of the culture in the world. I was having some issues whether or not things like what I wanted to include actually included in a medieval society, so that's why I wanted to pick this up, just to like confirm. But then again, like this is a fantasy, so I can like pretty much do anything I want, so I'm trying to also remind myself like of that, like this is a fantasy and I really can do what I want. It doesn't have to be a one-to-one match to a medieval society. And also this is a YA, so I don't have to go like crazy over the top with the world building, which is something I like to do. I think I predominantly write adult. This is my first YA book literally ever, so try to find that balance without like going over the top. And one more thing I wanted to say was that when I was working on this book last night, I was thinking of adding another magic element to my character. So my character is a magic person, and he right now has this one big magic ability that is the focus of the book. But then when I was writing this yesterday, I was like, should I add another magic element to him? It would be fitting, it would be complementary. I don't know, I think I'm gonna add it. I haven't really decided yet, but starting from chapter 4 I've been adding these like tones of like the second magic thing he has. One more thing actually I think I want to say, this video is not being sponsored or anything, but Katie Wismer does this thing, she's also an author tuber, where she wears a perfume while she writes a book. So when she writes the book, she's like immersed in the scent of the perfume, always like brings her back to that book. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think I'll try this. I have so many of their perfumes just because I was like, I keep buying them, but I never like actually use the perfume, so like maybe I'll just use it. So I'm gonna try to use it today. We're gonna use ambery cedarwood for this current book going forward. Let's see if this becomes a thing. This is more than one experiment now. This is also a perfume experiment and also the 5K day. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna take the whole day to do this. I don't have a time limit, just like before 12 a.m. of today. All right, let's get started. I'm itching to just be living, breathing, sleeping this book for the rest of the day. There is a little kitty over here. He's sleeping. And I made myself more coffee. I got this for free. I don't ever use Coffee Mate, but it's a little bit too sweet, but I am struggling. It is not going well at all. Okay, this is, oh my god, I think I put way too much. I am thinking of like not doing this vlog at all, but we're just gonna push through. I was like falling asleep, not like because I mentally like was tired, you know, like when your eyes fall asleep. I had that feeling the whole time. So I did a quick workout, I had lunch, I did some errands around the house, hopefully to like wake myself up. I made more coffee. This is my second cup now. I don't know why I'm so tired. Like I feel like I really picked the wrong day to do this. I think it's because I was in like a deep sleep and I made myself get up because it was already 9:30 and I literally slept for 12, like almost 12 hours at that point. I'm really good at sleeping. Also, I tried to put on my contacts and it didn't stick to my eye and it just like fell off, and I was like, this is... I wrote like 500 words, so we can count those 500 words. I think I liked the first line, which I can share with you guys. The morning sun, ribbons in pink and blue. I like it, we'll keep that. There's nothing really much else to say. I just feel like my mind is ready, but my body feels like very sluggish. So yeah, I think the next time I'll check in with you, probably it'll be like after the podcast to see like how much I get done, because right now it's not really going. I am really enjoying listening to this playlist while I work on my book. A kitty is always on my desk. I'm trying to work here. Mr. Brambles. Look at his little leggy sticking out. Isn't he so cute? Isn't he so cute? I don't know where else to film. I finished chapter 4. I say finish with that tone because we're at actually 3100 in the whole chapter right now, and I think I need to break it up because it's getting too long. This new chapter 4 is like complete in terms of a structure, but I feel like I'm still missing so much. Like I feel like there's like a world building thing I need to tie into, like several world building elements I need to tie into, and I kind of like started not skipping, but I was writing new scenes, and when I write new scenes I tend to like be very sparse, and I could feel that I was being very sparse in the last few paragraphs I was writing. So I actually am not comfortable saying that I'm done with chapter 4. So with this new chapter 4, I'm actually going to take a break. It's around 2100, so we can say we added 2100 words today, which is like not even half of 25, and it's almost 3 p.m. I'm just gonna get ready for the podcast. It's at 4, and I'll probably make dinner and then write some more tonight. I hope that I'll get a good break and floof up a bit more of the end. Chapter 4 is like a very setup chapter. It's to contrast how people reacted around my character before chapter 3, and it's supposed to be a very stark contrast. We'll check in later. Right, Brambles? Honestly, it's kind of just occurring to me that I was like, oh, I need to get ready, as if I wasn't on camera the whole day. I can't guarantee I will also look like this after the podcast because I'm gonna be cooking, and I don't want to be cooking in this sweater. Anyway, this is the setup. I have my blue, I think this is the Blue Air microphone. No, Blue Air is my air filter. This is the Blue Yeti microphone. I've had it for a long time. I've had it before I started a YouTube channel. And I have some water with me, and I'm gonna put on these earphones because you don't want like the echo of the person speaking that's being picked up by your microphone. It's almost 6 now. I will probably most definitely not hit 5,000 words today, but I had a really good chat with, I guess I'll just say it because the video will be up by the time, like, video will be up before I post this one. Yes, the podcast I did was with Anna New. I'll link it down below. You should definitely go watch it. We had some like realistic conversations on what it means to write or be a writer, like kind of in the modern age, I would say. How to balance writing with school, with work, how to find the motivation. Like there's so much to it, like motivation, the energy, and the time. Oh, it's not easy. Being a writer is not easy, but I'm really glad we have communities like authortube where we like demystify the writing process, because definitely when I was younger I had no idea if I could even be one, and I'm really glad to see the processes, or just like the ways you can have, the ways you can be, oh my god, that makes sense, how you can still be a writer but like be a different writer than someone else, because we have different methods and things like that. Yeah, I'll link it down below. So yeah, I'm gonna make dinner. I'm gonna make fish from chef's plates, and I think by the time I write it's gonna be like close to, I don't even know, like 7:30. Can I bang out 2,600 words in a few hours? I don't think so. I don't think so. Baja style fish and rice. I added too much water because it's really liquidy now, but yummy. It's almost 8 now and I'm set up on the couch. This is a nice way to write without really being in bed. I'm exhausted. It's actually 7:49. We're gonna switch to my laptop. I like to change up the scenery. I mean, it was really stupid to think I was gonna hit 5,000. I really thought we were gonna finish Act 1. I didn't think it was gonna take me this long. But anyway, I'm going to finish the end of chapter 4 and maybe start chapter 5. And now that we have a new chapter, because I added in, like, broke apart the old chapter 4, I doubt we're gonna get to like chapter 6 now. But in general, I guess if we added the 2,100, that means this book's currently at 8,800 words, which I think is a good pace.
How is it possible to write like this? How is it possible to write like this?
I'm gonna end the vlog here. It's almost 9:30. It's nearly time for me to get ready for bed because I'm almost 30 and I'm freaking old and need to sleep. I have an interview tomorrow. But anyway, there are some ways we can go about today's word count. So okay, chapter 5 is now like kind of short. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but it's around like 1,300, and when I line edit it, I think I can bring it up to like 1,600. But otherwise, like, chapter 5 is sound. I briefly read through chapter 6, but I think chapter 6 would also like be sort of sound. I do have to change some things, but I feel like for the most part it'll be fine. And I wrote a new chapter, so we started chapter 7. I got about like 350 words before I started like literally just outlining and doing my typical fast drafting, which is that I just write like the bare bone. It's barely prose at that point. So if we count all of that, like all of Act 1 so far, we definitely, like, since chapter 4, we definitely hit 5,000, because chapter 6 is around 2,700 words and I added about 400 words or 300 words into chapter 7. So chapter 7 would be the last chapter in Act 1, and I figured out how to tie in something together. There's like a thing that happens at the end of chapter 7, and I think it makes more sense the way it is now, and I'm excited about it, but it's not done and I'm not gonna write anymore today. So yeah, like if we add chapter 4, 5, 6, and 7, we definitely hit 5K. Technically I wrote or added 6,650 words. So I don't know if we want to count that. Like, I'm not really happy with the way, like, I'm happy with the structure, but I'm not happy with the lines. I think the lines need a bit more work, and I definitely need to add a little bit more like different world building elements to the beginning of chapter 1 and 2, maybe. I don't know. This is so hard. This is so hard. But anyway, I think I was really productive today because I'm glad that I figured out the basic structure of Act 1. We're gonna keep working on this tomorrow and the day after. I have like a million interviews this following week, and I have a new client on Thursday. I think I'm starting a new manuscript, or I'm starting a new developmental editing client. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.